This is the Steve Spagnuolo Show, exclusively on 101 ESPN.
Welcome back to Rams Park. Steve Savard and Brian Stull, joined by head coach Steve Spagnuolo. We just heard the touchdown pass, Kyle Boller to Donnie Avery. I thought, look, make some mistakes. You mentioned today nobody grades out 100%. Kyle Boller threw a couple interceptions. I thought, given the pressure he faced, I thought Kyle played pretty courageous football yesterday.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Steve. I'm glad you said that. I mean, you get thrown in that situation, and Kyle obviously prepared really well like he always does. But, you know, I give Seattle a little bit of credit. They came after us pretty good, but Kyle handled a lot of things like you would think a veteran would, and he's been in those situations before and helped us out, get out of a couple of sacks and throw the ball. And I'm sure he'd like to have a number of throws back because he's a prideful guy and a competitor. But, yeah, under the circumstances, he did a pretty good job.
And you lost Jason Brown about halfway through the game. He did not come back. We know Jason's personality. He had to be hurt not to come back because he suffered a similar injury at Washington, put a brace on, and didn't miss a snap in the second half. But at that point now, you've shuffled and you've lost 60% of your offensive line. Did that play a factor in not picking up some of the blitzes as well as you have liked?
Well, I mean, again, I don't go down that road, Steve, because the league it's the NFL, and guys got to step in, and there's backups that are prepared. I think the coaches do a good job preparing them. But does it make it more difficult? Yeah, because you haven't practiced all week together, and the continuity is not there. So it's a little bit more of a challenge, but we need to find a way to get that done. Kyle helps by getting the ball out quick, which he did a number of times. But there are situations you get in this time of year that are a little bit more challenging than having everybody healthy all the time for 11 straight games.
All right, you're not a stat guy, but this afternoon you snapped my head around by making me realize that there were some stats that point in the direction of the Rams winning yesterday. Among them, 265 total. Hasselbeck did not have a big day. He kept the passing game in check. Here's one that I really kind of overlooked: 33% on third down. That's drastic improvement for you on defense. But it comes back to stopping the inability to stop the run really hurts you.
Yeah, it always does. There were just those 2 or 3 run plays there that kind of popped out. The early one for 25 that really, I'll take the blame for that. I just don't think that we put our defense in what happened there. I don't think we did that enough during the week, and so it's not all on the players.
We talked about Kyle hanging in there and being tough. Steven Jackson certainly showed some toughness yesterday. Yeah,
and he always does, and sets the tone for our football team, just like he did on that first run he had, that long one, which was great, and I think it got us going. And we need that all the time. We know he's an important piece of the whole team, not just the offense. So keep him healthy. We'll find out how he is tomorrow. I know he's a little bit sore. I was sore today, so got to get him healthy.
But, he'll do everything possible.
Absolutely.
This guy works around the clock. If folks don't know it, one look at him would tell you. Some of it's genetic, but the other part is we're shaking our head. We wouldn't know about that. But the hard work, though, obviously is recognized.
Yeah, he knows how to take care of his body. He's been through it enough. He's been in the league long enough. And really, that's important this time of year for all the players in the NFL. You're getting toward the end of November. You got to take care of your body.
We've seen Steven mature as a leader this year. I know it's something that he took pride in and wanted to work on, and I think he's succeeded at it. It's really been fun to watch him emerge off the field in his role on this team. You said today, though, that you're going to rely a lot on the locker room leaders to step up on some of the football things and kind of lead in the charge. To me, it stood out yesterday that Chris Long called out basically the defense. He said we took a step backwards. In his mind, the defense took a step back. His words, not yours. But is that the sort of thing that you want to see some of these guys that maybe, not that there's a question of effort or work, but truly you've hit the bottom, had enough, and that anger, that frustration, whatever the emotion is, it's coming there, and some guys are starting to voice it and step forward and say, come on, this is it.
Yeah, as long as all of that, Brian, is done in a positive, encouraging way. I think every player, every coach in there is disappointed in the results. We all know that. We're all men. But let's pick each other up in a positive way and say, hey, let's get this done. You draw a line in the sand and say that's enough. And but you know what? More than that, when we talk about the leaders, it doesn't necessarily have to be verbal. That's one way to do it. But just step up and lead with your actions. And I think we have guys that'll do that or have been doing that. Let's give some of the teams we're playing, let's give them a little bit of credit too. they've made some good plays, made some good adjustments, and we'll keep chipping away at it.
Let's look ahead to Chicago and the Bears. How much have you been delving into them and what they present here this afternoon?
Just kind of just got a little while back, a couple hours ago, just started digging into it. So I'll take a better part of the rest of the night and obviously all day tomorrow. But they've been up and down. They've had some struggles, but I tell you what, they still got a lot of talent. I mean, they got 2 really good kickoff returners now, and they've always played good defense. I know they're missing their leader in the middle. Brian is not there, but they still have plenty of pass rushers and play well enough in the secondary. And offensively, I know the quarterback's a good quarterback. I know he's been up and down and all that, but he's an athlete. He can get out on the perimeter and create problems that way. He makes a lot of big plays. And I know Lovie Smith is a good football coach, and they like to run the football, so we're going to be concerned about that.
And
too.
this will be a big game for them. They want to defend their home turf, and things have not been going well for them, so it's not an ideal time for you to be catching them.
No, it's funny. How come we always? How come we get the team after the Minnesota Vikings all the time?
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, you get the Minnesota Vikings, then you get the team after the Minnesota
Vikings. Seattle just played them the week before, right? And so got Seattle all mad. Now they just got done playing Chicago. Now Chicago will be all upset. But that's all right. That's the way it is.
What's left to do tonight?
Oh, plenty.
You got plenty?
Yeah. Take a nap.
You're going to get away from Ted Cruz for a little bit?
That's the first thing I'm going to do.
He'll be on the first floor. You'll be on the second floor.
Yeah.
Maybe just send him home.
Throw him down there and get him out of there.
Steve, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Go get the Chicago Bears.
Always great. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Thanks, Coach.
You're listening to the Steve Spagnuolo Show on the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.